Hey everyone, today I'll be making these easy little mitered gift boxes out of just a couple of offcuts and scrap lumber. I'm using a combination of cherry, maple, and walnut for this project, and I'll start by laying out the box sides. I'm cutting the sides to their rough length, and then I'll go over to the miter saw and work around the knots that are in this leftover board. I always get a few burn marks when I'm cutting cherry at the table saw, so here I'm just using a hand plane to clean up the edges. The box sides are going to be about 3/8 of an inch thick, and to not waste material, and because taking about a ½ inch off of each board is a lot of work at the planer, I'm going to resaw them at the bandsaw. So here I'm just marking out the center, the thickness of the board, and then I can take it over and start making the cut. Making the box sides out of lumber that's been split down the middle like this also has another advantage of allowing you to have a continuous grain around all 4 sides of the box. After I'm finished at the bandsaw, I'll clean up all the saw marks with the planer. I'll lay out the rough dimensions for each box and cut them to size at the miter saw. Throughout this whole process, I've kept the boards together in the same orientation they were in before I resawed them. This is important to make sure that you get all 4 sides of the box to match. It's also important to note that the outward facing parts of the board will now become the inside of the box in order to make that grain match. So here I'm marking out 2 shoulders or rabbets in the box sides that will accept the top and bottom of the boxes. And now with a 1/4 inch bit installed into my router table, I'll create the rabbets on the top and bottom of each side. Next I'll sand the part smooth, focusing on the inside of the boxes. And then I'll head over to the workbench and apply a coat of a de-wax shellac that's been thinned down with a little denatured alcohol. It's a lot easier to do this step now than it is when the box is assembled. And while I'm getting this finish on, I just want to take a minute to say thanks for watching this video. If you get any enjoyment out of it or you're learning anything at all, consider subscribing to the channel and definitely give the video a thumbs up. Thanks. The next step is to lay out the long and short sides of each box. I'll start by laying out one long side and one short side on each board. Right now they're stacked up against each other and held into the vise. In order to get the grain match right, you kind of just have to lay it out, put the board splayed out on the bench, and kind of match the grains to make sure you're right. Once everything's all laid out properly, then you can come back in with a pencil and mark each side in order to keep them together later. To make the miters, I have a small sled that I made for the table saw. I just clamp a stop block to the sled, and then I can go ahead and make my cuts. To glue these boxes together, I use my table saw and fence as a reference. I'll lay the boards up against the fence as shown here, and then I'll apply some tape. I can flip everything over, and then I put a little tape on the inside near the corners just to make sure if I have any glue squeeze out it doesn't ruin the inside of the box or get into a spot that'll be hard to clean later. And then I can apply some glue, fold all the pieces together, put the last piece of tape on to hold all 4 corners in, then do a check to make sure the box sides are square. One word of caution about using a cast iron surface as a reference face for a glue up is that if any glue touches that surface, it could stain it pretty quickly. So whenever I'm finished here, just in case I got some glue on the cast iron table, I always scrape off the surface, apply some wax, and then buff it off. Now that the sides are assembled and the glue's set up to dry, I can start to focus on the top and bottom of the boxes. They're going to be made out of this one piece of maple, and I'm going to cut them the same way I did the sides. So mark out the center, take it over to the bandsaw, and resaw it into 2 boards. Then I'll send the boards through the planer just to get rid of any of the rough faces. Then I can use the box sides to look and see how I want the top and bottom to be laid out. I'll cut out the rough dimensions of the tops and bottoms using the miter saw. Then I'll go over to the table saw and use my miter fence in order to kind of fine tune it and get the shape pretty close, but not perfect. While you could definitely use the table saw to get the final fitment of the box, lid and bottom, I use a hand plane and shooting board to really sneak up on it and get that tight fit for the bottom and that piston fit for the lid of the box. On these boxes, I ended up letting the glue dry overnight, which I think is a good idea because nothing's going to hold it together but miters. Plenty strong enough without splines, but definitely give the glue enough time to dry. So I'll remove all the tape, and then I can use some sandpaper on a sanding block and just hand sand the faces, get any glue squeeze out off, any fingerprints off, just kind of clean up the corners and the faces of the box. To clean up the edges, I just take a piece of 220 grit sandpaper, put it on my flat table saw surface, and then I can rub those edges back and forth across the paper. And that'll leave everything square. Now I can focus on the bottoms of the boxes and make sure they're sanded smooth as well. With everything prepped, I'm ready to start gluing up the bottom. I don't use like an acid brush or a typical glue applicator here. I just use like almost a toothpick or a thin scrap of wood to make sure I only get glue in the rabbet and that there won't be so much excess that it squeezes out into the box. I'm not really worried here about end grain to long grain or the box moving. The pieces are so small, I've never had one blow apart from seasonal wood movement or anything like that. It's just not a concern for such a small box. Once I've applied glue to the rabbets, I can install the bottom of the box, use a couple of cauls and these pistol grip style clamps in order to hold the bottom in place while the glue dries. I use this style of clamp over some type of twist clamp or pipe clamp because that normally doesn't allow me to apply too much pressure and risk damaging the box. Back at the router table, I'm using a round over bit to clean up the top edge of the lid. You could do this a couple of different ways. I ended up making some of them with a chamfer bit, and I ended up using a small block plane to create chamfers in another one of the lids. Once I'm happy with the profile, I'll use some 220 grit paper and a sanding block to knock off all the sharp corners and clean the lids up and get them ready for finish. The pulls or the handles for the lids of the box are going to be made from some scrap walnut. And I'm just dimensioning with the table saw and planer and starting to put a small rabbet or shoulder using the router table. Once I have a rough profile, I'll cut the lid pulls to the size that I think they need to be with the bandsaw, and then I'll use my oscillating sander just to kind of shape a profile in there. I'll use some sandpaper and a dowel rod to kind of refine the shape some more, and then I'm ready to start gluing it up. I'll center the lid or the pull on the lid, and I'll use some tape to make sure that it stays centered. I use a combination square to make sure that the pull stays evenly spaced in both directions, and then I'll apply a second piece of tape. This way I can make sure the pull stays centered even if I bump into it. I applied the glue a couple of different ways on these lids. Here I'm using just traditional wood glue, putting it on with a small scrap of wood so I don't get a lot of squeeze out. Putting it in place, pushing down on that pull for a couple of seconds, and then using a clamp to clamp the lid to my workbench and make sure that pull dries in place. Another method for installing the pulls is to just use CA glue. It seems to be just as strong, and I've done it a bunch of times like this. I just apply a little bit of a gap filling CA glue or super glue to the bottom of the pull, press it down on the lid and hold it there for about 10 seconds, and that's it. You can remove the tape and continue processing the lid. Again, I've done a bunch of them this way and I've never had one fail on me, so if you're in a pinch, you want to do it a quick and easy way, just use super glue. The last step of this project is to apply a finish to the boxes, and this is what's going to make or break the look of the box. I got this technique from a great book from Matt Kenny called Build Better Boxes. There's a lot of cool tips on box building in that book, probably some of the ones that you saw in this video today, but especially good is the basis of this finishing technique. I don't think I do it exactly the same, but pretty darn close. So it starts off with thinning out some shellac with some denatured alcohol, and then applying a couple of coats to all the surfaces of the box. After you got a couple of coats on and it's dried for 20-30 minutes, you can start to knock back the rough surfaces using a fine grit sandpaper. Here I think I'm using 600 or 800 grit. Next, apply 1 or 2 more coats of the thinned out shellac. Once the next couple of coats have had time to dry, I use a 4/0 steel wool to apply some paste wax to all the surfaces. And I just rub that in real good. The idea here is that you're trying to knock that surface back to not be glossy, but kind of have a really good feel and matte or satin type finish. I'll just rub that stuff in real good, let it dry, and then come back with a microfiber towel and buff out all the surfaces. And here's that sheen that I was talking about. Just looks great and feels great to the touch. And that's it for this project. These boxes are all finished up. I got all 4 out of that little bit of scrap wood you saw at the beginning of the video. And I think they turned out great. The lids are all a little bit different from each other. The walnut looks great with the contrasting woods, and the grain just wraps around the sides of each box perfectly. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.